Hi, beautiful world. Welcome to this video. This is Tina from TinaHills.com. And today I'm speaking to you about Neptune through the 12 signs of the zodiac. And what can I say? If you have your Neptune in Scorpio, then this is your video. It's definitely a deep placement. So let's get right to it. Now, 211.44 hertz is the frequency of Neptune. And if you listen to it, if you have a Neptune heavy natal chart, or if you're just mystical and spiritual, then I think that this frequency is going to transport you into a different dimension, into a new awareness, into a spiritual awareness, into a place that five senses can't comprehend. It is beyond the fragmentation of time and that is easy or simple. It's complex. And Neptune is complex and Scorpio is complex. When you put them together, what do you have? Like a deep imagination about taboo subjects, about sexuality, deep fantasy worlds that you trigger your spiritual awareness, maybe spiritual awareness through sex and sexual activities. Okay, maybe exploring uh, things about sex that are not normally understood, experiencing a spiritual side of your sexuality. I think that is what Neptune in Scorpio will do. You definitely imagine, you have a lot of fantasy, let's just say, about sex and about um, a yearning of sorts to take sex to another level, another a new deptual awareness that normal sex can't bring. But that's Scorpio, and you put Neptune there. Neptune's a higher octave of Venus. Venus is about personal love, and Neptune is about all-encompassing empathy and compassion. Tattvamasi, that thou art. That's the energy of Neptune. All is divine. Uh, Now, it is actually this very interesting quote that I want to read to you. It's by Sri Aurobindo, a very famous yogi from Bengal, and he says that life is life, whether in a cat or a dog or a man. Okay, there is no difference between a cat or a man. The idea of difference is created by man for his own advantage. Now, this is the very ethos of Neptune, that nobody is more important, nobody is less important, that everything exists in perfect union and perfect harmony. Okay, and that's what Neptune is here to show you, that all form is Mayavic, all form is illusory, transient. Nothing lives, no one lives forever, and nothing lasts forever, said Tagore. What can we do? Just love. That's what Neptune wants to show us. But are we ready to listen to Neptune? Because Neptune can be about mysticism, spirituality, otherworldly awareness, but it can also be about illusion, deception, seduction, illogical behavior, fantasies taken too far, escapism, lunacy, bondage, constriction, incarceration, mental institutes, asylums. All this is the jurisdiction of Neptune. So there's, of course, a dualistic side to this energy. Everything is dualistic in the 3D world. Now, the Tibetan is an ascended master, and he said of Neptune that in this world period, and in a peculiar manner, Neptune is known esoterically as the initiator. And what does he initiate? Your spiritual growth. And why peculiar? Because again, Neptune is intangible, it's incomprehensible. So you can't neatly label it. It's beyond, it dissolves everything. So there are no boundaries. It dissolves everything and brings it and immerses it into this ocean of oneness. Neptune's the god of the oceans, like Poseidon, like Varuna in the Vedic myths. Now Kronos has swallowed Poseidon, and why is that? It's actually esoterically it means that Saturn swallows up the energies of Neptune and Uranus before it can even get to us. Saturn is filtering these energies, because Saturn is ultimately the final dispositor of the 3D world. Everything is under his domain, and Neptune knows no rules, no boundaries. Okay, it's about all encompassing immersive experience of oneness, right? Now, Blavatsky calls Neptune illusory or myopic, and rightfully so, because Neptune is not of the solar system, says the ancient texts, okay? But it is, the line keeps bouncing, sorry. So it reveals to us a world that is kind of on its own. It's the stuff that fairy tales are made of. Think of the Great Gatsby, and his complete obsession for love. But was it love or was it just delusion? Because Neptune can also be delusion. Okay, and in Scorpio, Scorpio is all about sex, death, regeneration, and so it's about exploring these deep realms. Now, the two cards associated with Neptune, it is the moon and is a hangman. So the moon is the god of Cancer, and Scorpio is a water sign as well. It does interesting. Neptune is the god of the seas, like Poseidon and Varuna. So the water is a common motif here, which means it's empathic, it's compassionate, and it's deep, and it deals with the psyche and the subconscious. That is very much Scorpio's domain. So here you can and Neptune's the artist, remember that. And Scorpio's the detective. So what happens when you put these two archetypes together? The detective and the artist. So what can you search for in art? How can you transmute lower energies into higher energies of love, peace, and acceptance? Okay, now Scorpios need to understand that yes, you can be obsessed with the occult, everything metaphysical, UFOs, aliens, everything, but again, fantasy and reality, two things you've got to understand, and you've got to draw clear boundaries. Scorpio has no boundaries and Neptune has no boundaries. So how do you make sense of that? Which spectrum of Scorpio are you looking at the Neptunian energy from? Are you the Scorpion? Are you um, the eagle, or are you the phoenix, ready to resurrect into a new spiritual being? Because Neptune is about christening us and making us into the Christos, the Christ. The age of Pisces was all about Jesus Christ and his awakening to higher love. To he as the myths go, of course, it's deeply symbolic. He sacrificed himself. Neptune's about sacrifice, and Scorpio does not truly understand this concept of sacrifice. Now look at the Hanged Man. There is definitely a motif of martyrdom and sacrifice here. But are you going to what are you ready to sacrifice, and why do you need to sacrifice that? So everything has an answer, and Neptune's ready to give you that answer if you are willing to tune in and listen. That's all Neptune wants you to do. And in water and deep Scorpio, Neptune is even more nebulous, even more you know incomprehensible. This is not simple, and will require a lot of journaling, meditation, and really tuning in with yourself. Scorpio and Neptune are pretty tuned in, if you ask me, to the ether and to the Akashic records. That's what Neptune rules too. Goats, ESP, and of course, if you're Scorpio, Neptune Scorpio, then you are into all these things. ghosts and paranormal phenomena. You probably watch a lot of horror, you know. So that was a bit about Neptune in Scorpio. Sorry, the line kept crashing during this video. I don't know what happened, but please, you know the drill. Thumbs up, subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Visit my website www.tinahanks.com.